Hello and hi and welcome back to Flowers in the Wintertime. Gosh, this title screen is still very, very pretty. And I love that it could be either or. It's very nice. That's the thing, like this series has been consistently good with really, really good alternate title screens, but it's also been really, really bad with what I have come to refer to as visual novel bullshit. That is a phrase that I have no doubt used a lot over the course of this read through. And it's just, it has to deal with choice systems and endings and how they do it and how I think it can mess up the pace of a story. And I think that that's what's happening in this case, in that we got the Mayuri ending first, and that was fine. It was what it was because it was kind of just there to tease us, to give us, to hook us into being excited to get the good ending, which you get next. And now we gotta go do non-canon stuff because, and you can't do that. Like when I play visual novels, I always do bad endings and non-canon stuff before I do good/true endings, and Flowers just never lets you do that. It always like makes you do the cleanup stuff last, and it always feels kind of weird coming off of that really good high of a good ending. Just always kind of sets weird with me. If there's anything that I can criticize this series for, it's absolutely gonna be that I'm not a fan of its visual novel bullshit. It's indefensible, so don't even try to defend it. I won't listen. I will not be swayed. So yeah, we are going to do a non-canon route now, which, as you may already have guessed, will require us making choices that were not there the first time around, as well as picking what I'm going to say is probably all of the opposite answers we chose the first time around. So I cut all that stuff out of the last video where we did the good ending, so I may end up doing an edit for this one too, just kind of depending on how fast it goes and all of that. So we'll just have to see. But I need to get myself settled in here. It has been a long day, and what it has been a long week. But now, all right, so it looks like we just start the damn thing again, and I think we can just next our way through everything until we start getting new scenes, which I am unsure how many there will be. If it's anything like the previous game, I'm going to guess we're in for another 2 hours, probably. And I may try to bang all of those out in one video, but I may also do it like we did last time and separate them, given how long it took to knock out the extra scenes. So we start this route, predictably, by starting with Rikka-san. Erika-san directs the question to me with her trademark feline smile. This is all the glasses and stuff again, so we're saying that Rikka looks great with glasses. Who could possibly hold a candle? I think I'm already getting a feeling of what this route's gonna be. We go together like a horse and racing. I feel like that would have been the proper Erika rebuttal for that. The proper Erika response. She just feels like the one that would pull the horse races reference. Well, if we're boiling you down to your, well, I mean, why not even braids first, right? Like, she's always pulling on her braids, and it's got those big blue hair braids, hair clips in. So yeah, I would think maybe it's got to do more with not seeing her braids first. Her Excellency the Vice President. Just rub it in now. She's so easy. It's so easy. I see why they do it now. It's just so easy. Erika-san's laughter and Rikka-san's protests reverberate around the room. Smiling amidst the warm atmosphere, I pluck the glasses from Erika-san's hands and place them back to my amitié partner. Okay, now we can like both. We are bi-drinktual. I like the tea Rikka-san brews for me, and I like the coffee Yatsushiro-san would make for me. It's hard to choose between them. Rikka-san protests that she's not going to cry, but... Way to screw everything up, Suo. Just like always! I can't help but think that when I see my amitié partner's shoulders visibly slump. Alright, so now we're gonna brush past it. I can't get her involved in my own problems. Surely that's the best way to handle this situation. She rubs at the furrow between her brows. It was phoneticized into English as tulpa, she continues. Not gonna lie, I'm honestly shocked that I got phoneticized out, given how tired I am right now. Alright, now we flatter her to throw her off the trail. Just throw her off her game entirely by just flattering her. That's all you gotta do. Suspicion is palpable in her gaze. I stare back at her. Nothing useful coming to mind until... That's a really nice hair clip that you wear all the time. It's gonna work because this girl's just hungry for any kind of Suo affection she can get. Never. Rikka-san's braids bristle in protest, but Erika-san just tells her that she doesn't get her style of compliments. They killed themselves! That's great. That's such a good line to skip to. They killed themselves! I don't know why that's tickling me so much. The sudden outburst freezes me to the spot, and I stare intently into her face as though I might discern something from it. My voice trembles as I await an explanation for this abrupt confession. Yeah, I don't... the girl turns her almond eyes toward me. We're talking about a book, right? Where'd this go? You know, we're just gonna roll with it. I'm too tired. Takasaki-san tells me. Oh, okay, this was a sudden outburst. Okay, I was making sure I didn't miss something in the rollback there. But no, she just said this because Suo was off in the brain zone for a while. She chides me, but her searching gaze betrays concern. Bowing my head, I apologize. Rude. Her brow furrowed, she shoots a sharp gaze my way. I had to feel bad for focusing on my own worries while she was engaging me in conversation. She continues to glower at me as I shrink under her gaze. Then a smile lightens her features and she claps me on the shoulder, telling me she was just joking. Yeah, I'm kind of used to just being ignored by people. It's fine. When I nod in the affirmative, Takasaki-san clasps her hands before her chest. She's so book hungry these days. How about this? I hold the book out to her. Yes! H.P. Lovecraft. It's a romance. It's not weirdly racist or anything, I promise. As she leans in toward me, tilting her head in curiosity, I notice my breathing has grown shallow. This girl is so much like Mayuri. Why does everybody keep saying that? I feel like they're trying to gaslight me. I feel like this series has been trying to gaslight me this whole time into thinking that that Chidori looks like Mayuri, and I just don't see it. The faint smile that plays across her lips is startlingly reminiscent of her, but millions of them for you. The faint scent of peaches that wafts from her, perhaps a perfume, hammers home the fact that she is not Mayuri. Her gorgeous, glossy hair, so different to my own boring black hair, flutters as she tilts her head thoughtfully. I can't help but smile at her silly. I love that that's the thing, is everybody just doing funny Erika impressions. It's so good. Oh, at last a smile. Oh, you're prettier when you smile. Usually that's a terrible thing to say to somebody, but we'll allow it in this case. Oh, I think she likes people specifically like her. She sees it too. Of course, this girl's always just been kind of super perceptive when she wants to be. Especially with regards to being jealous about anything that might come within even like a hair's breadth of flirting with Erika. Oh, that's so cute. I'm not telling her that I'd be delighted if she joined our little book lovers club, but Takasaki-san frowns.
でも処置っていうにはまだまだ読んでない本が多すぎるのよね。抑えておくべき本20冊とかやってくれるなら。
I don't think it has to be that way. Just pull people in. Just like, hey, look, like we'll start with something that's a little less, you know, heady, like the material we may normally go for. I don't think that you need to kind of like immerse yourself. I think you can learn on the job, so to speak. Like I mean, that's how I've gotten people into anime before. I rarely ever show people like the stuff that you tell people to watch. Like, oh, you need to watch Evangelion, Outlaw Star, Cowboy Bebop. And I was like, no, how about like I just find something that's a little more contemporary and see what they think. And that's always kind of been good. That and Tenchi Muyo. Tenchi Muyo is like an all-arounder for some reason. The OVA series, though. The OVA series, and then if they like that, you graduate them to the first movie, then the TV series, or opposite order there, TV series, then movie. You skip the hell out of Tenchi and Tokyo, and then you watch Tenchi forever. And that's kind of all the Tenchi you really need. The OVA, TV series, movie 1, movie 3. Now that you've received my perfect and completely correct anime opinions, I think for a moment. Yeah, like you got a genre you like. Why not just kind of like pick away at some of the greats within that? The furrow still remains between Takasaki-san's eyebrows, but then... As she takes my hand, her expression abruptly transforming into a smile, I see Mayori's shadow in her once again. Again, this game, they're just gaslighting me. They're just gaslighting me. It must be because I can feel her drawing close now that Yatsushiro-senpai has left me the key. Ugetsu Monogatari! She shakes her head, looking crestfallen, and the scent of peaches drifts from her again. The smell gently scrubs away Mayori's lingering presence. The sweet fragrance is as different to Mayori's citrusy scent as the night is today. Oh, you were thinking out loud again! Some habits you just never break. Aww. Oh my. A vision of the two of them close enough to breathe in one another's scent pops into my mind, and I hurriedly shake my head to drive away the improper image. It's not improper, it's fine. I flap a hand in front of my face as though to physically wave away her words, but Takasaki-san puts an arm around my shoulders. What you got in mind? She commands me. In the end, I did ask for Takasaki-san's help with something, but it wasn't with searching for the elusive Shion Basquiat. Instead... Got to get in some of that ballet practice from the best ballayer in the school. I'm sure that's what they call them, right? Ballayers? I think that's the thing. That's probably it. I mean ballerina. That sounds stupid. I met her desire to help me with a request for ballet lessons. As she runs her eyes over my leotard-clad body, her expression serious, I reflect that my request, dreamt up in haste, was actually quite onerous. Yeah, that might be a little weird. In a hurry to come up with something, I hit upon Takasaki's specialty, and she readily agreed to tutor me in ballet.
今までの練習で何か質問はあるかしら？手首や足首に力が入っていないとダメなのは見栄えが良くないからとか。それもあるけれど、一番の理由は怪我をしないためよ。バレエでの怪我のトップは着地での捻挫なの。力を入れていないと足が開きすぎて着地を誤って捻挫してしまうのよ。
I nod, impressed by her knowledge.
私の習っていた教室では着地での怪我の次に自主練中に同じく練習している子とぶつかって
Yeah, I have to imagine that happens a lot while you're learning. She importantly tells me that, even though it's just the two of us, we should still be careful. I can't help but smile at the way she puffs her chest out like a proud child.
どうしたの？いえ、こうして高崎さんからバレエを教わることができるようになるなんてちょっと不思議で。でも転入してきてすぐはいろいろあって。
My smile doesn't leave my lips as her cheeks flush.
もうごめんなさい。
She raises her hands in mock supplication, but then quickly lowers them, blinking as she turns a very Erika-esque smile on me.
そういえば少し前、エリカから勧められてある映画を見たわ。エリカさんからのおすすめ、もしかして。
Given our current circumstances, I asked whether it was a movie about ballet.
ええ、赤い靴という映画よ。知ってる？
I nod. It's an old movie that's still highly esteemed today, particularly interesting for the fact that it's based on the eponymous Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale. In the fairy tale, the wearer of the red shoes must dance until their dying day. The movie follows a ballerina named Vicky through her performances.
勧められたから二人で見ようと誘ったけど断られて、一人で視聴覚室で見たのだけど。どうしたの？
I questioned her. The way her brow furrows in perplexion makes me think of my grandfather's habit of biting his nails.
思っていたのと違ったのよね。まあ私のことを知っているからこそ勧めてくれたのだと思うけど、バレエをしている女性が主人公だからね。まあ主人公の一人だけど、いろいろ家庭の事情が複雑で見ていて気分が良くな
Well,
る。
sometimes we find comfort in media that kind of reminds us of ourselves. I mean, it's happened while reading this series, unfortunately, or fortunately. I recall that the protagonist didn't have a particularly blessed personal life.
そもそも赤い靴って表題なのに、あの靴安っぽいピンク色じゃなかった？
I try to recall scenes from the film. Maybe it was because I saw a remastered version, but I remember them being red as blood. Yeah, it's probably one of those instances of remastering messing up the color grading. I'm not sure what to say.
童話だと踊り死ぬのに、靴を履いたら足を失って死ぬなんて、そこも変よね。
That sounds like an entirely different movie. I think Erika pulled a real quick one on you.
どうしたの？高崎さんの話している赤い靴って、ホラー映画の方の赤い靴ですよね。ええ、初めからその話をしていたのだけど。
She regards me with narrowed eyes as though examining something that irritates her. I quickly tell her that I was thinking of a different movie.
勘違い？同じタイトルの映画があって、高崎さんが話してくれたのはホラー映画の赤い靴だけど、私はイギリス映画の赤い靴だと思っていたから。 ギリス映画？もしかして多分エリカさんが勧めたのはイギリス映画の開発だと思うわ。
You watched the wrong one! Or she directed you to the wrong one.
名作で感動するって言われたからあれって思ったけど。
Which that's easy to understand. Yeah, it's easy to come to that conclusion.
高崎さん、怖いお話も好きだしね。
It sounds like a happy accident.
ええ、それもあるから私のために選んでくれたのだと思っていたわ。まあ面白かったからいいのだけど。
Yet her expression remains irritated. When I gently prod her, she goes on.
今度は一緒に見ましょうって誘おうと思ったのだけど、エリカよほどのことがない限り同じ映画を二度は見ないのよ
Well,
ね。
I have a suggestion.
時間は限られている。有効に使わなきゃな。とか言って、本なら気に入ったら何度でも読み返すくせに。
She moves as though to bite her nails, then abruptly stops herself. I wonder whether someone's told her to break that habit. But there's something else I'm wondering too. Yes! Yes! Do it! Although I'm not sure if she feels the same about me. I think of Takasaki-san as a friend, so I'd love to watch a movie together with her.
名作だって言ってたし、一人で見るのも。
Well, I got an idea. My voice comes out unexpectedly loud, and Takasaki-san looks at me with wide-eyed surprise.
なに？もしよかったら。
Yeah, there you go. Look at you. She still has a hard time. She's definitely more of a go-getter, but those old suo habits, they're never gonna truly go away.
ご一緒にその赤い靴を見てはダメかしら。私ももう一度見返したいし。
My throat is dry due to nerves, and my voice comes out hoarse and scratchy. Seeing the blank look on Takasaki-san's face, a wave of regret washes over me.
それいいわ、白羽さん。
Yeah! Heat flashes through me as she wraps her arms around me in a hug. I'm painfully aware of the feel of her body through our thin leotards.
エリカも白羽さんが一緒に見るなら来るって言うだろうし。
Well, I mean, that's fine.
そうね、エリカさんも一緒に。
Of course, I have nothing against Erika-san, but even with how antsy her closeness is making me, I still feel a little pang of regret that it won't just be the two of us.
高崎さん、本当に仲良く。
Aww.
白羽さん。それはそれでしょうよね。
Nah, I'm pretty sure she's okay with it.
ごめんね。来やすかったわよね。
I don't think she minded.
そんなこと。花火師さんに怒られちゃうものね。あ、でもバレエの映画って結構踊る上で役立つ。
Can't imagine that Erika would be very pleased at all, either. She's definitely had a couple of moments of back off.
ちょっと上手に言えないわね。俯瞰で見るですか？そうそう、その俯瞰よ。別の視点で見られるから役立つの。
I can't tear my eyes away from her soft smile, yet at the same time, the words send a ripple through my heart, detached. I wonder whether in my search for Shion Basquiat, I've been taking a detached approach, or have I been getting emotional? Yeah, that's a good point. I think emotions are definitely called for. I think it's very natural and understandable that they'd happen. It's related to Mayuri. No matter how hard I try to remain cool and logical, I haven't been able to keep my emotions out of it.
どうしたの？高崎さんから大切なことを教えてくれたわ。
I'm not gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna nandemonai the shit out of it if you ever ask me about it, but... She gives me an odd look.
まあいいわ。白羽さんの役に立てたのだったらよかった。
Then she flashes me a boyish grin.
もう少し練習に付き合ってくれる？もちろん。
She says with a smile like a sunny spring day that reminds me of my year. Again, they're gaslighting me at this point. I agree. Oh, okay. So now I think we're in prime Rikka territory. Rikka-san's gentle breathing is the only sound in the otherwise quiet room. Looking at the clock, I see that it's already past midnight. Closing the book I'd been reading, I place it beside my pillow. I know I should go to sleep, but don't go to sleep. That's the new choice. Careful not to make too much noise, I sit up and adjust the reading lamp beside my bed. Then I pull a small paper bag out from beside the table. Inside is an elastic hair tie with some woolen yarn. I stare at the orange and yellow threads and close my eyes and picture the finished product. Oh, is she making a cute little present for Rikka? Aww. Picking up the crochet hook, I slowly get to work under the dim lamplight. Aww. Okay, so we're back to skipping land. I think you'd look good in it. Takasaki-san. I feel pressured by her earnest gaze. Yo. 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 Oh. Takasaki-san smiles, makes a face like a lifelong vegetarian who's just been asked whether she likes tomatoes, then flashes me a stiff smile. So it looks like this route she's definitely going to be getting a lot closer with Chidori. Which is kind of like, they've kind of had some fun interactions together up until now, but they've not really kind of had a lot of time together. And also, obviously, I think, you know, Rikka's probably going to be a major part of what's going on here. Although I tried to voice my genuine thoughts, it didn't work for me the way it always did Yatsushiro-senpai. As I think of the older girl, Takasaki-san keeps prodding me to say how good I think Erika-san looks. She does. Erika looks amazing. Now it's no time to think of what you do not have. Think of what you can do with what there is. Okay. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong. I wipe my hand across my forehead. Rikka-san looks confused. Perhaps to protect the specimens housed within, the temperature of the room is set low enough that it actually feels a little chilly. Ah! It's butterflies! No! I'm not really hungry. No burritos this time. You don't get no burritos on this route. That's why I would say it's probably the worst route. Any route where I don't get burritos is the worst route. I think that's a new visual novel rule that we can just kind of put there on the wall. I'm too nauseous to even accept the bag of food. I remember the first time I heard that word as a kid, appetite, and I thought it was appetite. And I thought it was just when you wanted apples. So the first time I remember wanting an apple, I would say, I've got a big appetite. There's some dumb polylore that nobody will ever hear. It's so stupid. I was such a dumb child. Appetite. Ringo would be happy with that joke.
みんなそうだと思っていたよ。
I am a human food devouring machine. Which I guess that's all of us. We are all human food devouring machines. So that was, again, man, I saved all my stupidity for this episode, apparently.
みんなエリカと同じではないのよ。いや、マジでそうだったよ。
I'm sure Takasaki-san was only trying to rib her a little, but Erika-san seems disproportionately despondent. We both rushed to cheer her up.
そこまで気持ち悪いとかではないの。まだ少し食欲が湧かなくて。でも、もう少し。そうよ。別に今すぐ食べなくてもいいんだし、無駄にはならないわよ。ね。
I nod eagerly and Erika-san scratches her head.
そうか。
Oh.
それじゃ、一応渡しておくぞ。
With that, she passes me the paper bag.
ねえ、私たちの部屋で休まない？
Answer honestly. I quickly rack my brain for how to respond. If I admit to bringing the almanac, I'll simply draw criticism for breaking the rules, but she probably won't figure out my true intentions.
新しいネタだから会長として書き込もうとしていただけと言えば。
No, we only record major events in the almanacs, and there's nothing like that currently going on.
無理に聞き出そうとするのはかわいそう。
Ringo to the rescue!
スオちゃんも女の子です。恥ずかしい。
Aw.
読みたくなることがあって当然ですよ。
Way to bail us out, Ringo! Erika-san scratches her head, mulling this over.
だな。悪い。白羽のことだから濡れ場が多い小説で、それを見られたら恥ずかしいってとこだろ。無理に。違います。
Nah, I think you just lean into it. That's the only way you get one over on Erika is if you just lean into it. Deciding that there's not much point in continuing to hide it, I open the desk drawer and remove the almanac. Okie day, what do we got? Arriving at the entrance hall at the scheduled time, I call out to the girl running her hand over the banister. Hearing my voice, she immediately comes running over, reminding me of a little kitten pattering over to its mother. I smile. Oh, we get to hang out with Ringo. We get to hang out with Ringo. Are you kidding me? This is the best route. I mean, minus the burrito thing.
なんでもないの。
Nandemonai!
待ち合わせの時間より
10 minutes
10分
early.
早いですよ。私としての方が早く来すぎただけです。
Not having a watch, I hadn't realized I was early. Looking around, I asked her where our fellow investigator is.
エリカ先生はお越しにならない。
It's just us! Let's go!
急な要件が入ったの？まあ、休養といえば休養ですが。
Did you get wrangled by Sister Basquiat? She seems reluctant to say more, so I tilt my head at her curiously. She narrows her eyes and informs me that it was her nuisance of a sister's fault.
いちごさんの
What have you done?
実はですね、寄宿舎に戻った姉が何を思ったのか急に模様替えを始めたのですよ。
I wait for her to continue.
ガタガタと家具を移動させているうちにですね、ルイーズ
Not
がいなくな
Louise!
ってしまったのです。スオちゃんもご存知の通り、姉の飼っているカエルのことです。
I wasn't aware, but I nod anyway, not wanting to derail the conversation.
姉と一緒に部屋中ルイーズを探していたのです。
Oh no!
バスキア教諭が訪ねてきて、いなくなったルイーズを一緒に探してくれることになったのです。そう、バスキア教諭もご一緒に。もともとバレエの補習に来なかった私たちをおっと脱線しましたですね。とにかく一緒に探してくれる運びとなったのです。ですがなかなか見つからず、そこへ私を呼びに来たエリカ先生が。
I can tell where this is going.
エリカさんが手伝うと言ったのね。です。なのでルイーズの捜索は皆に任せてスオちゃんの助っ人にやってきたのです。私の方は後回しにしてもいいのに。大丈夫ですよ。あっちには探偵が一人いますからね。今回は私が探偵役をしますですよ。
Yeah! Get to come out and do some stuff on your own. It's healthy for you. These two need a little time apart and around other people. I think this is only a good thing. She beams at me and I clasp her hand gleefully, warmed by her kindness. Y'all got two frogs. Ichigo-san's murmur brings back memories of Halloween. Lisa and Louise. Those were the names of the creepy twins from The Shining, of course. Although it wasn't really that long ago, it feels like an age. I'm happy to know that it's a special memory for the Sasakis as well as it is for me. What? Oh no! Oh, she's in full detective mode now. Oh, that's so good. She's speaking in a lower register. Ringo-san affects a low voice. No, we gotta hear it again. That's real good. All right, Columbo, let's get this done and over with. I stare out at the snowflakes dancing silently through the air like feathers on the wind. It's never not gonna be good. Hearing someone call my name behind me, I turn around to greet my fellow detective. She's just gonna keep it up. I'm here for it. Let's do it. She apologizes in the same affected tone as earlier. I warn her that Erika-san wouldn't be pleased if she overheard her. Was it a bad impression, she asks? Yeah, she'd be mad it was so good. She's got me there. I often ask myself how the protagonists from movies or novels would approach a problem and then run through their thought processes myself. When I don't answer, Ringo-san gives a satisfied nod. Then, donning Erika-san's voice again, she asks me how things went on my end. Again, like this is like the culmination of everybody having a really good Erika impression. She's gotta love that. It's so good. Her imitation is too on point. Stifling a laugh, I tell her that I had the same impression. Smiling at the mention of the other Sasaki, I nod, glad to know that we're both on the same page. She's got like Erika's like exact like tempo, the way she speaks down. Like she's really put some work into this. I'm just in character. I'm just pretending that this is a pain in the ass. That's what Erika would do. Breaking character, she rushes to reassure me.
確かに意味事ですが、こんなに口が重いのはおかしいですよ。今まで七不思議の事件がありましたけど、もう少し細部だとか噂話、尾ひれのようなものだって囁かれていたです。それなのに血まみれメアリー事件だけは皆一様に同じことしか口にしないのは奇妙ですよ。
She's right. When I spoke with the second-year students in the clubhouse, they all relayed the exact same story, as though reading it from a script.
こんな時こそ第六感だぜ、白羽。私のスパイダーセンスが囁いて
Your Spidey sense, all right.
人物や話を聞けってね。
When I ask her who, she scratches her head in a perfect imitation of Erika-san and tells me that she's talking about the inner circle.
今までは当たりをつけず不特定多数の相手に話を聞いていたが、ここからは個人的につながりを持っている相手に話を聞くってことさ。
That's using your noodle.
それって料理部の先輩方に話を聞いてみる。密な知り合いなら胸筋を開いて有益な情報を漏らしてくれるかもしれないだろ。
I nod in agreement with Ringo. Ringo turned Erika's idea, and we set off on our mission. For a while, we walk in silence. The only sound is the satisfying crunch of snow beneath our feet.
テスト中のしんとした教室の中、鉛筆の書く音だけが聞こえるサラサラとしたあの音、好きなんですよね。
I smile. The soft sound had conjured the same image for me.
信じてくれないかもしれないけど、僕も同じことを考えているよ。
I attempt to emulate Yatsushiro Senpai. Ringo-san beams, telling me that I'm a dead ringer. Then she dons her own feline smile.
いい考えだと思ったんだがな。
You two gigantic dorks. Parentheses affectionate. She goes back to aping Erika-san.
桜木先輩に会えたのは良かったけれど、美に入りサイに入り語ってくれたから細部が知れたのは上々だ。だが正直新たな情報ってやつはなかった。当時の3年生、料理部からも辞めた生徒が出たと話していたわ。部活か。そっちでつながりが得られそうな気がするな。辞めた3年生の共通点、どうして辞めることになったのか、その経緯を調べていたけれど、辞めた生徒たちの人となりを調べてはいなかった。役に立ちそうかい？ええ、十分な探偵役だわ。
My compliment makes her bashfully scratch her nose with a hand that isn't holding mine.
よかったです。エリカ先生になりきった甲斐があったですよ。
As she smiles proudly, I thank her again, feeling incredibly lucky to have a friend who shows me so much care and affection.
この学院に入学してよかった。
Though my time here has come with its fair share of anguish, I've gained something truly irreplaceable. I want to make sure I put her idea to good use. Squeezing her warm hand in mine, I think about our conversation with Sakuragi-senpai.
確かに辞めた3年生たちの共通点を見つける作業をしていなかった。
Perhaps they were members of the same club, in which case...
桜木先輩が最後に言っていた。学院にとって損失だったって。
At the time, I thought she said it simply because so many students had left the academy, but perhaps she used that phrasing for another reason. For example, because many of the students belong to the same club, maybe the cooking club.
何を悩んでいるのですか？
When I explain my thoughts, she puts a hand on her chin and narrows her eyes thoughtfully.
なら、もっと詳しい人に話を聞く必要があるようですね。それって、当時、血まみれメアリーを探っていた人物。
I send her a concerned glance, wondering if she's referring to Yatsushiro senpai.
違いますですよ。血まみれメアリー事件を調べていたのはゆずりは先輩だけではないですよね。コミカド先輩も調べていた。つまりコミカド先輩
Yeah, get Hagiwara on the phone. Moshi mosh. Got some info we need from you, ma'am.
ゆずりは先輩のアミティエは学院を去っていますが、コミカド先輩のアミティエは在籍してますからね。
Her index finger strokes my palm between our joined hands. I'm about to say that we should go speak to her at once when I'm interrupted. Ooh. We're already back at the dormitory building. Ringo-san signals for me to be quiet, then stands stock still, straining her ears. She tilts her head, focusing her senses upward towards the forest. Somebody's screaming! Then a scream rings out, making a hair stand up on my arms. That was...
はじめの声はエリカ先生だったですね。次の声はりっちゃんさんでした。まあ、エリカ先生が手伝っているのだから、副会長様が手伝わないわけがありませんよね。
She's not good with frogs. I'm gonna take it.
やっぱりリッカさんの声。
In response to my fearful question, Ringo-san smiles.
ルイーズが
I believe they found Louise. I go in expecting her to be as resident as the other upperclassmen, but
ええ、あなたになら話してもいいでしょうね。
perhaps because of Ringo and Yatsushiro senpai's past relationship, she seems happy to talk. After offering us a cup of coffee, her eyes now take on a faraway look of someone gazing toward a distant horizon just before dawn. Then
いいわ。私が知っていることなら何でも話します。
her gaze refocuses and she opens
八
up.
代さんからあまりお話を聞いていないけれど、コミガトさんからは調査をしていて、その進捗を聞いていた。そのお話でいい？お願いします。わかったわ。あ、冷めないうちにどうぞ。
I wonder whether the coffee was left behind by Komikado senpai. As we sip our drinks, we listen to Hagiwara senpai tell us everything about the incident she heard from Komikado senpai.
コミカド先輩は随分と綿密に血まみれメアリー事件のことを調べておられたのですね。はじめは八代さんが7人の上級生が一時に辞めた件を調べていたの。それにコミカドさんが加わって、辞めた生徒が血まみれメアリーの儀式をしていたことを突き止めたのですね。
At my words, Hagiwara senpai pulls a sour face. Ringo-san looks over at me. It's obvious to both of us that she's holding something back.
すみません。何か言いにくいことがあるようにお見受けしましたが。ごめんなさい。あの時のことを思い出してしまって。血まみれメアリーの儀式をしたせいで3年生が辞めたという話が出てしばらくした後、八代さんのアメティエも学院を去ったの。
I wonder whether this is why the older girls were so unwilling to talk, but that doesn't make
確
sense.
かにゆずりは先輩のアミティエはいなかったですものね。
It may not be a particularly happy topic, but was it really something so taboo? Unless...
八代先輩のアミティエも血まみれメアリーの儀式を行って辞めてしまった。だから八代先輩が後からコミカド先輩の
I voice my speculation out loud, but Hagiwara-senpai shakes her head. So what is it that she doesn't want to say? Although she said she'd tell us everything, Hagiwara-senpai has now clammed up, just like the other upperclassmen. Her expression grim. It's something that happened over a year ago, so why is getting her to talk about it like getting blood out of a stone? The occasional gust of chill wind that whips through the quiet room only turns my insides colder. Ringo-san bows her head low. Flustered, the older girl tells her that she doesn't need to do that. Alright! She sounds like she's trying to convince herself as she gives Ringo-san a slightly pitying look, then turns to me, pinning me with her sharp gaze. Alright, we got it. Her preamble plants a seed of unease within my cold gut. You know, like, also the bummer about the visual novel bullshit is that, like, I understand getting this information, like, if this was your first time, but I feel like this is something where, like, you don't need to have this entire conversation again. I feel like this is something where if the game knows you've already seen this conversation, you kind of just like, all right, and she gave us the gist of everything. And I feel like at some point this game was probably meant to be a little more open in that you could probably get the Rikka route at some point. Oh, spoilers, it's the Rikka route. Not that you couldn't already guess that, but I feel like at some point that was a little more open and that maybe they had to put this here again because you might get this route before the good ending or the Mayuri and good endings. Yeah, I feel like having to like repeat this stuff with the way the game works, I feel like there could have just been a check that was like, have you seen that line? All right. But since it's actually way more linear than that, they could have just been like, all right. And then Hagiwara explained everything. I hear that woman's laughter in my ear. How could the kind Komikado-senpai I knew do such a thing? I can't quite wrap my head around what she's saying, but there she is. Not in my head, not in my mind, but right before my eyes. I can see the ghost of my stepmother turning toward me, her lips contorted into an unpleasant sneer. People are people, so why should it be? People are strange when you're a stranger. The red lips of the ghost gleam as she laughs, so vivid it's like she's really there. I look down at the ground, feeling sick to my stomach. Whoa! We sneezing. We big sneezing. I feel the same way. At her desk, Rikka-san lets out a little yawn. Closing her book, she stretches. Looking at the clock, I see that it's already past 11 p.m. We're not going to bed. Not a chance. I still have something I need to do. I don't have much time left. I want to make progress when my days are still relatively calm.
あら、宿題なんてあったかしら。
Rikka-san cocks her head at me sleepily.
違うの。ちょっと個人的な要件。
I can't share the details, especially not with her.
何か私にも手伝えることはない？
And yet,
それは。
were it anything else, I'd be unendingly happy and grateful for her offer, but not when it comes to this particular thing. Her face falls.
でもこれは決して手伝ってほしくないというわけじゃなくて。
It's something I'm doing because I want her to be happy. Yet in hiding it from her, I'm making her sad.
分かっているわ、スオさん。
Aww. But Rikka-san just smiles.
高崎さんのお誕生日が近いものね。スオさんのことだから何か用意しているのでしょ？
That's gotta be it. She tells me she knows I've been up to something at night recently. Yeah, you're bad at hiding literally anything. I find myself at a loss for words. She's pretty much hit the nail on the head. Plus, she's noticed I have been working on something at night.
確かにプレゼントでも他の人の助けがあったらダメだなんてことはないんでしょうけれど、やっぱり一人で作りたいのでしょ？
She's right about that. Although I've already sorted out Takasaki-san's present. Yeah, right, that's it. That's what I'm doing.
分かったわ。私きちんと見守ってるから。
Well, now maybe you should sleep. I'd rather you didn't. That face. Her words come entirely from a place of good intentions, so I can hardly reject them.
ありがとう、リッカさん。
I would never treat her kindness with disdain. Setting into the idea of working on my project as I lie in bed, I also decide that I'll focus on making something else tonight. Okay, and I think from here we gotta solve the mystery again. Dun-dun. Yeah, all right, so it's an emotional entanglement. The photo. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then wha-bam. And then that big ol' ass right there for good measure. That is the last, I think that's the last time we're gonna see that ass. So, wave goodbye to the ass. That's the ass, everybody. All right. Had a little breathing room. Looks like this is the part where we kind of get to zoom through because there's no extra scenes. That's usually how these go. You usually get a chapter of freebies.
私もエリカさん
Or
に
not.
頼みたいことがあるの。
I begin.
こっちの頼みも聞いてもらうんだから、大概のものは引き受けるよ。なんだ？
And so I tell her everything I've been getting up to with my nighttime project. I climb into bed but remain awake for a while. Everything is still and quiet. January is almost over. Don't sleep yet. I can't fall asleep just yet. Turning on my reading light, I pull the paper bag out from under my pillow. Given how few days I have left, I really wanted to finish it tonight. I've already got the general shape of it. Now it's just about connecting parts together and adjusting them. Erika-san showed me how to do it. I want to make sure it's something she can actually use. take out the wool and crochet needles and start knitting. I can't say I'm good at it, but I'm certainly better now than when I first started. Still, if I said as much to Erika-san, I'm sure she'd tell me I'd still have a ways to go. You are 10,000 years too early to be a crochet queen like me. Or something. I don't know that she would be that chunibyo about it, no. A giggle escapes my lips and I quickly press a hand to my mouth to stifle it. Rikka-san is asleep in the bed below. I don't want to interrupt her sleep, but I also don't want her to find out what I'm doing. Carefully, I stitch the orange and yellow petals together to form a flower. A supple flower, so delicate it seems like a strong breeze could break it. But the core is resilient, just like her. Yeah, if there's anything you can say about Rikka, she's absolutely resilient. Yeah. She is like she has been Suo's rock along with Erika for literally like 10 months. I attach each petal securely and pull at the elastic band, testing its strength. The woolen stitches keep their shape. It should be fine. After packing away my tools, I carefully store the finished hair ornament. Now all that's left is to give it to her, no matter how awkward the thought makes me feel. Hoping that Rikka-san will take it, I turn off the reading lamp and snuggle back under the warm covers to sleep. Bum, 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 bum. Someone I once knew wrote that we walk away from our dreams afraid that we may fail, worse yet, afraid that we may succeed. Yep, that's from Finding Forrester. Oh, is this the... Okay, this is the recital, isn't it? Or no, this is the birthday. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, we're gonna give her the present here at Chidori's birthday party. Just returning the favor. Don't worry. Erika is a girl that will think of a way. Don't you even sweat it. She's not basically the leader of a gang for nothing. Like, she could pull this off. Don't worry. You're in debt to her now. She will make sure it's paid back one way or another. You're gonna be giving up some of them lunches, I imagine. She cuts me off, telling me she really doesn't mind. She says, but we know there's a little bit of that nature in there. Her face is still contorted into a grimace, but I can tell. Let's go make our offerings! Alright. When the party is winding down, I find my chance. Hey, let's go! I call out to my amitié partner, who has been quite the wallflower. She looks toward me, somewhat dazed, and tilts her head. She's about to fly off the handle in 3, 2, 1. That is a more subdued reaction than I thought. Sensing something ominous in my words, a cloud passes over her face and she fiddles nervously with her braids. We exit Iznik, the chilly air curling over our skin despite the heating system. The hubbub of the party barely reaches us here. It sounds like the faint noise of a distant town festival. There's an unmistakable tension in her voice. It makes me wonder. Tension and fear are old friends of mine, and I can always sense their presence. She nods, relief softening her expression.
スオさんからお話を聞いたときは驚いたわ。まさかエリカさんがって。
Yeah, this girl will do just about anything for Chidori at this point, so I don't think that we should be all that surprised.
彼女は誰よりも周りを見て。
She's observant and considerate of others, but in this case in particular, it was very, 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 very important for it to go off without a hitch and for it to just be completely awesome.
ええ、でもとても恥ずかしがり屋。だからサプライズをするなら二人きりですると思っていたの。
I nod and we share a smile before I continue.
きっと高崎さんにもっとたくさんの友人を作ってもらいたいのだと思うわ。そして
That too.
パーティーを通して一人ではないとして。
She really, 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 really opens up over the course of this game, though. So it definitely hit home. Like if everything that they've been through and the way that they've kind of learned to banter about back and forth and their relationship has taught her anything at this point, I have to imagine it's that she knows she's not alone and that people are probably gonna think she's pretty cool.
そうね。
Rikka-san's gaze flits toward the window, but she doesn't seem to see the snow outside. Instead, it's like she's staring into a deep ocean devoid of light. We got a present. Why would you give me this option? Don't give her the present? What kind of jerk? What kind of jerk doesn't give her the present? I better not have to come back and not give her the present. I'm gonna be real butt mad if I had. Oh, I know we're gonna have to. It's gonna be a real bummer. There's always cleanup in these games, and if what I've read is right, the cleanup in this game is a lot more involved. There's a lot more of it than there was in previous volumes, so I'm sure I'm gonna have to come back here and break her little heart. It's great. Make me feel fantastic, video game.
リッカさん。リッカさん言ったわよね。エリカさんは恥ずかしがり屋だからサプライズをするなら。
I feel like you're projecting, though.
ええ。私はその育児がないからみんなの前では渡しづらかったの。だから。
Aww. Okay, now she's gonna completely lose it. In 3, 2, 1. Palms sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on her uniform already, mom's spaghetti. I tighten my grip on the present I'm holding behind my back.
私からリッカさんへ遅くなった誕生日。
Aww. A hot flush washes over me as I hold the gift out to her. Aww, they're so cute. I wish that she would actually wear them the rest of the route. I think that would be very cute, actually, if they changed her sprite for just this route and did this for the rest of the route. That would be very cute, but I know they're not going to. In my hand is a hair ornament in the design of her namesake flower, the golden poppy.
これって以前リッカさんの誕生日でケーキのプレゼントを勘違いさせてしまったことがあったでしょう。だからいつかちゃんとしたプレゼントをしなきゃって思っていたの。髪飾り？ええ、手芸が得意なエリカさんに頼んで教えてもらってリッカさんの名前花火思想をモチーフにして作ってみたのだけれど。
Oh. Rikka-san is staring wordlessly at the hair ornament, her eyes as dreamy as earlier then.
私のためにスオさんがプレゼントを。
Pure joy blossoms across her face like ripples spreading across a lake, then through her entire body as she flings her arms around me and pulls me into a tight hug. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, come on. She deserves it. She absolutely let this girl have the hug. She has worked so hard, so tirelessly for the last 10 months. Let the girl have her moment.
嬉しいわ。私のためにプレゼントを用意してくれていたなんて。だって前に にとても失礼なことをして。
前の誕生日だって十分祝ってもらったわ。それなのにこんな嬉しくて心臓が止まってしまいそう。
Feeling the deep affection resonating from her in that hot, tight hug, an incomparable joy wells up within me.
私もこんなに喜んでくれて本当に幸せだわ。
I want to go back in time, back to before I came to the academy, back to when I still feared I would never relate to anyone and tell that girl what's waiting for her.
こんなにも素晴らしい親友がいる。
Oh. Stroking my amitié partner's hair, I recall a line from a movie. Someone I once knew wrote that we walk away from our dreams afraid that we may fail, or worse yet, afraid we may succeed. When I heard that line in Finding Forrester, it struck me as horribly cold and pointed. It was like those words were being spoken to me directly. Now, however, I can accept them at face value, and I see the truth in them.
私と
Oh.
見ていてくれてありがとう。
Girl has earned a really tender moment like this with all that she's done. I'm finally able to summon those words from the bottom of my heart and tell her. So nice.
私とシオンの物語が
Okay, I
紡がれて
think. Alright. Busy preparing for the Council of Nakai's events. Gotcha.
からはシオンマスキアを
Alright, so now we're moving on to. This is chapter 4. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I don't have good memories of love letters. That's not it. Open your mouth. Still a good reaction, though. Still a good reaction. And I think that this is Mystery 2. Yeah, there was information that could only be gleaned at close range. And these are the words of the Council of Nakaya. And it was Yuzuriha Yatsushiro. So, let me do this right here. Look at us. We're cruising through now. There's fewer scenes than I was expecting. With regards to their, you know, like unique scenes for this route. Maybe they like front loaded them all. Can it be a contemporary play?
私ですか。
Plant that offers protection.
正直
Half expect to see the twins. Okay, so we're in chapter 6 now. So I think I can't reveal my Yuri's secrets. Gotcha. Say something encouraging. All right, yeah, I think that if these are the only, yeah, the number of us. Okay. Is there anything else? And then we solve the mystery, and I think that should be it. So she wanted someone to interpret the meaning of the epitaph, and it's a number of a psalm in the Bible. All right, so that should be what puts us into ending territory. Okay. This is after the play, and she meets up with Mayuri again, and Mayuri leaves again. Yeah. I'll come back for you one day. Yeah, so this is just Mayuri leaving, but I'm assuming it's gonna have like a Rikka flavor to the ending. Time passes by in idleness after I lose Mayuri. Not a single thing of note happens after the leaving party as we move toward the spring break. I wake up early, get dressed, rouse my amitié partner, and have the day's recommended meal for breakfast in the cafeteria. In the mornings, I do my homework when I spend my afternoons reading until it's time for bed. The weather shifts back and forth, a tug of war alternating between sun and cloud, strings of cold days, followed by warmer weather. At a certain point, the cold fades until it's as indistinct as the dusk before night falls. All at once, I realize that winter is over. A new season is upon us. Spring, the season of beginnings. I spend the last day of the spring break, a bundle of nerves. Having finished all the Council of Nikaya's preparations for tomorrow's opening ceremony by lunchtime, I'm nose deep in a novel as usual. And really bummed out. Then,
ねえねえ、何の本を読んでいるの？
they appear at 1:30, as expected, and ask the same question as always.
赤毛のアンよ。
God's in his heaven, all's right in the world. Ichiko-san claps her hands together and announces that she knows this one. Perhaps she's even read it herself?
昔テレビでやっているのを見たことがあるよ。
Yeah, it's about the same, right? Just watch the movie.
私としては別の翻訳者ですけど、同じ作品を読んだことがあります。
We talk about the book for a while then.
さあみんな、お茶を入れたわよ。
My amitié partner carries over a tray laden with steaming cups of tea. Like a reprint of a photo, it's the exact same scene as yesterday. While there are slight variations, I've played through the same scene every day of the vacation. It's been like a recurring dream. Yeah, I can't imagine she's feeling too good. I left my heart behind in the library the night of the play.
アップルティーですね。
That's cannibalism.
そして私的にはストロベリーティー。
That's also
そうちゃ
cannibalism.
んもそういうのあればいいのにね。そうね。植物の名前が入っていますから、ハーブティーならあるいは。
ダメよ、おかしなものを混ぜたら。それとスオンさんの読書の邪魔をしたらダメ。
I know that the Sasaki sisters are trying to cheer me up, but right now I feel off kilter, and I don't have the will to write myself, and so I
おかわりどう？
いただくわ。
hold out my empty cup and she pours a liquid from up high to aerate it.
リッカさん。
She hasn't asked me about any of it. When I returned alone, it was Erika-san who drew what happened out of me. She seethed with anger when I told her how Mayuri had said she wasn't ready to come back yet. Even then, Rika-san,
はい、どうぞ。
ありがとう。
she made the same choice as me and is staying close by my side, treating me as though nothing has changed. Finally noticing the scent and flavor of the tea, I smile at her. Then I pick my book back up. Eventually, the more love a person gives, the easier it is to find. My eyes land on a line on the page I open at random, and my lips curl into a cynical smile reminiscent of Yatsushiro-senpai. But stultified as I am, even negative emotions don't strike particularly deep. I've gone through every book I borrowed. So here I am in the library to find something new to read. I've already read most of the donated books, but finding a new tome on the Home of Economics and Domestic Scientists shelf, I take it down and look at the cover. The title reads, Bread Making for Dummies. Below it, a subheading states that if this book can't help you, then nothing will. When I open it up, I can see why. The instructions and images for various bread making methods are extremely simple and easy to follow.
祖父を思い出すわ。
おじいさんは？
Rikka-san, who's browsing for a book beside me, turns to look at me.
父と違って祖父は番頭だったの。よく自分で焼いていたの。
I love me some fresh bread too, man. Just, oh, nothing beats a fresh loaf right out of the oven. Let that shit sit for like 5-10 minutes, then just grab a hunk of it and just dive in. Oh my god.
へえ、一度食べてみたいわね。
Yep, you should. I loved waking up to the delicious scent of freshly baked bread wafting through the house each morning. Smell is so linked to memory. I suddenly recall Mayuri's citrusy scent, and my heart clenches painfully in my chest. I turn away so she won't see my face, pretending to be engrossed in the book while I collect myself.
お前らも来てたのか。
Hey!
奇遇ね。
Hearing the familiar bat-like squeaks come to a stop before me, I raise my head.
ごきげんよう。二人とも。
Gokigenyo!
ごきげんよう。ってお前が挨拶したから私もする流れになっただろ。
Never thought I'd hear it from her. Erika-san lightly bats at Takasaki-san's knee like a cat might, and Takasaki-san pokes her head in return.
ごきげんよう。二人は何
They're
を？
literally just girl and cat.
ここは図書室だ。本を借りに来たんだよ。こいつのな。
そう。読み終わってしまったから新しい本を探しに来たの。高崎さんは何を読んでいたの？
She picks up the book resting atop Erika-san's lap and reads out the title and the author. The Makioka Sisters by Junichi Tanizaki.
ずいぶんと古い本を読むのね。そうか。新しい作家の部類だと思うんだけどな。なあ白羽。
読んでおくべき作家だと思うわ。それじゃあ谷崎作品の中で白羽さんのおすすめは？私はそうね、春金賞かしら。
お、こっちもメジャーなやつを選んだな。
そうなの？っていうか、ささめ雪って代表作だったの？
まずは一番有名どころからってね。白羽が挙げたのは中編作品だ。舞台化もされたし映画化もされた。
They can really like dive into the work if she likes it then. I direct them toward the shelf that holds Tanizaki's works. It's under literature than Japanese literature. Well, this is where it all happened. This is where I said goodbye to Mayuri on the night of the play.
おい。
Oi! Her sudden call catches me with my defenses down. My true feelings, which I've tried to keep hidden, are laid bare on my face. Seeing this, she glares first at me and then at Rikka-san.
こいつはずっとこんなままか。
Nope! Nope!
エリカさん。
あの日からずっと変わらないままだろうが。委員長に任せ
Dang, oh, you done made her
こ
mad.
いつはこんな顔。
I mean, she's mad at you. Wait till she gets her hands on Mayuri, though. Oh, it's gonna be real ugly.
エリカ。
おい、白羽。
Oh, she's just going in. A direct approach. She squeaks over to me and gestures for me to lean down toward her. I face her, still trying to regain my composure.
お前はあの日、高坂が戻らないってことを私たちに告げた日、今と同じ顔をしていた。
Yeah, she ain't taking it that good.
そんな顔をするくらいなら、今すぐあの人の元へ行って直訴すればいいって言ったよな。
それは。
そうだ。お前は高坂が望んでいないからと止めた。あいつが戻るまで待つと。私たちもしぶしぶ同意したよ。でもな。
This is like the ugly part of, you know, Mayuri's decision is Mayuri's decision, and it's something she did of her own free will, and not, you know, like, I can understand Suo wanting to respect that. Painful as it may be. She grips my shoulder, squeezing so tightly it hurts.
辛くてどうしようもないなら、飲み込むことはないんだ。
Man, yeah, she don't like this at all.
また取り戻す算段を
Very
すりゃい
clear
いん
that
だ。
her own feelings are a part of this, so to speak. Right. Back then, Erika-san was the one who gave me the kick in the butt I needed.
わがままを通してもいいのかもしれない。
But I...
白羽お前がそんなだったら私は
そこまで。
A voice as sharp as a slap to the cheek cuts between us. Directing her words at Erika-san, Rikka tells her again that that's enough.
お前が放っておいたからこんなことに
And yeah, she ain't dealing with this very well either.
お願い、エリカさん。スオさんとマユリとのことは私に任せて。リッカさん。
A silence stretches out between them as their gazes meet. They exchange a wordless conversation. Erika-san is the first to look away.
分かったよ委員長に
Oof, lost that game of chicken.
私に任せてくれてありがとう。それともう一つありがとうと言わせて。スオさんを心配してくれてありがとう。私
Oh.
エリカさんの優しいところが大好きよ。
恥ずかしいことを言うの
あ、私もエリカのこと
Oh,
大好きだからね。
yeah!
お前も
This girl's gonna die of embarrassment. Get her out of here. The tension lifts and we're back at the congenial mood from before. I let out a long but surreptitious sigh.
スオさん、今日話したいことがあるの。
My Amitie tells me with her usual smile. When was the last time we had a pajama party? She asks, pouring me a fresh cup of tea. I cast my mind back for the answer. Rikka-san nods and holds the cup out to me.
ありがとう。夜だから寝つけるようにミルクティーにしたの。蜂蜜を少し入れているからコクが増しているはずよ。
It's the cure-all for everything. The cure-all for everything is literally the most redundant phrase I could have thought of at this point. But it is also after midnight, so I think that I get a freebie. I take a sip and I can indeed taste a depth of flavor below the sweet, mellow milkiness. The effect is incredibly calming.
とても美味しいわ。よかった。入れたての熱いうちにマシュマロを入れると濃厚な泡立ちになるのよ。
I'm not always a fan of that, even with hot chocolate. Like the film, like it's a texture thing, and it's just like not a texture I'm a big fan of. It's like beans. I hate beans because the texture. I think they taste good, but I can't eat them because their texture is terrible. I tell her we should try it next time, and we fall into idle conversation. We talk about all kinds of things: ballet class, the food in the cafeteria, the animals who will start to show their faces around the grounds once spring arrives.
久しぶりにこんなにお話ししたわ。リカさんはイカイアの会の子たちや先輩方と
I think she means like, you know, people talking.
スオさんとよ。こんなに身になるお話をしたのは久しぶり。取り留めのないおしゃべりでしょ。スオさんとのお話はたわいないものでもすべて身になるのよ。
Smiling, she pours more tea for me and then for herself. She stirs each cup 3 times, the metal spoon tinkling pleasantly against the china.
さて、
What's on your mind? Her words signal a clear change of gear, and I know that we're about to broach the main topic. But her voice fades and silence filters into the room like oil settling atop water. It's so silent that, were it not for the occasional gentle gust of rattling windows, I could believe that the entire world had disappeared.
さて、
Sate. She repeats the words, then turns to me with a gleam of determination in her eye and a smile on her face.
もう時期は過ぎてしまったけれど、スオさんのお家って桃の節句のお祝いはするかしら。ひな祭り。
Hinamatsuri.
だけど大きくなってからあんまり。
In fact, it occurs to me now that we haven't celebrated it once since my birth mother passed away.
以前、私が本家に養子に出されたことは話したわよね。花火師家では 古来から行われている日本の伝統行事を重んじているの。さっき話した桃の節句や端午の節句、少し珍しいものとなると庚申待ちや針供養とかね。とにかく伝統行事を大切にする家柄だったの。
A memorial for broken needles? She takes a sip of her tea, then continues.
私は別段伝統行事を行うのが面倒だとか嫌いだとかはなかった。女の子の行事よね。目立つのが嫌だとか。
I mean, that's a very Suo thing, for sure.
そうではなくて、うちでは誕生日やクリスマスは祝わなかったから、その代替として桃の節句にプレゼントを渡されるの。お誕生日みたいなね。それならいい。たくさんのプレゼントをもらったわ。両手で抱えきれないほどに。
Oh, but she threw them away. We got that detail a lot earlier in the story.
欲しかった漫画とかも。
I'm about to ask why that she disliked that day, but I swallow my words when I see this wretched look on her face.
でもね、次の桃の節句の時に、
Yeah, she had to
その
destroy
前
them
の年に
all.
もらったおもちゃをすべて壊しなさいと言われたの。
That is a real messed
私
up
の目の前
thing
に
to do to a child, I
ハ
think.
サミを用意してね。
Even if they're like a teenager at that point, 12 or 13, I think making them cut up all the presents they got from previous years as some sign of of maturing into adulthood is really messed up.
大人はその行為を巣離れと呼んでいたわ。大切に扱っていたぬいぐるみと
That's messed up, dude.
泣いて
No
嫌だ
wonder
と
this
言った。
girl's got issues.
でも
Spring makes so much sense now.
端午の節句で兄も同じように壊しているのだと聞かされて、やらないわけにはいかなかった。だから泣きながら切って裂いて、するとね、おばあさまが進み出て、よくやりました。これでまた一つ大人に近づきましたね。
Did you get a Nintendo? I think that would be an appropriate, 13, 14-year-old present. As long as you don't have to smash it. And then we celebrated the rest of Hinamatsuri as though nothing had happened. That's so messed up! How does that not mess up a child, man? She finishes with a whisper. She gazes seemingly down at her cup. She must be back in her memories of that time.
自分から選んだ紅茶の趣味はいくつになっても年齢に左右されないおもちゃとして認められたから壊さないで済んだ。
Ah, gotcha. When I lay my hand on her shoulder, she flinches, and the eyes that she turns on me seem terribly young. But then she blinks a few times, and she's back to herself.
ひどいわ。そんなことをされ
It
て。
really is.
いいの。恨んでなんかないわ。あの家では
It's okay, though. Even if it's tradition, you can still think, good lord, that's real messed up that my parents did that.
だからって。
Exactly. It doesn't make it right. Unable to contain my anger, I try to tell her that just because it was accepted as normal within her family doesn't make it right, but she lays a gentle hand on my shoulder.
ねえスオさん、私はこの学院に来て一番嬉しくてほっとしたのは
Yeah, like all of this is yours. You get to keep all of this. This, being the friends that you make along the way, the memories that you create, the bonds that you're forging.
自分よりも強い力で有無を言わさず奪われなくて済むって。リカさん、私はあなたに救われたの。今の自分自身で良いと言われて背伸びすることはない。少しずつ大人になっていいのだって。だからね、エリカさんはマユリを取り戻せと言ったけれど、私はスーさんが
like
受け入れ
I think that's just the most mature way to handle it. Like, obviously you want to get her back and you want to be selfish, but like, I think that the whole investigation and trying to find Mayuri, I think that like the lesson she learned there is that she was kind of being selfish. So it's this all ends on a good note. This isn't a bad ending or anything. We're still kids. We're still kids. There you go. We shouldn't be trying to act like adults. Oh, she's much more mature than you think.
ええ、変わるということは成長よね。成長するというのは確かに聞こえが良いし、正しいことかもしれないけれど、それは成長するための土台があって、初めて良きことになるのではないかしら。マユリの心が。
There you go. Mayuri's heart isn't there yet because she still needs to have like she obviously needs and wants the love that Suo can offer, but she's also missing something that's very vital to her, something that's part of her foundation, which is she lacks the love, she lacks that familial love that she's getting while doing this whole Shion Basquiat thing. And even if it's not the real thing, it's like maybe she deserves to live that fantasy for a little bit. There you go. I think that's exact that. Good Lord, if you'd have told me in spring that she would be the one delivering this message, I'd have just like, nope. Just goes to show you, it's a series called Flowers, and it is literally all about growing. Her words resound in my heart like ripples spreading out from a droplet of water. Rikka-san told me to go ahead and take what was important to me if I wanted it so badly. What Rikka-san is saying and that such an action would only cause more hurt to the person I care about. In my mind's eye, I see an angry girl in a wheelchair and a girl clutching her new toys with tears in her eyes. And time heals all wounds, even faster when they're good times. My father's words suddenly pop into my head. When was it that he used that phrase? In the end, I decide... You know, the ancient Egyptians had a beautiful belief about death. When their souls go to the entrance of heaven, the guards asked 2 questions. Their answers determined whether they were able to enter or not. Have you found joy in your life? Has your life brought joy to others? The bucket list. It's been a while since I last watched a movie, and those words from the bucket list really stuck with me. Has your life brought joy to others? I'm unable to answer yes with conviction. I want to be able to, but there are too many people I've brought grief to. Ichigo Sasaki, Ringo Sasaki, Erika Yagaki, Chidori Takasaki. When they left the academy behind with tears in their eyes, they told me I was foolish, and I agree with them. But I believe that only a fool can continue to love. And so, here it comes again. Another spring without my... Good Lord? So this just lasted for years? What are you, like, working there now?
一人で温室の水やりを任せてしまったわね。いいえ、お花のお手入れは好きだし、以前バスキア教諭からも水やりが上手だって。
So, I'm assuming this is like 2 or 3 years later, like everybody graduated and they just stayed behind and Mayuri still didn't come back? Mother Elder lived another 3 years? That lady seemed to be on death's door!
下手な人なんていないでしょ。傘をさすのが上手くらい変な言葉だわ。
I pretend to be angry at her for a moment before we break down in giggles together. As novitiates messing around like this would set a bad example to the students. But surely even God will let us off with just the 2 of us.
そういえば聞いた？片上寮長が新種の花を作り出したのだって。いえ、聞いていないわ。そう、ダリアの花よ。
Dahlia. Of course it is.
教諭も一緒になって試行錯誤してたって言うけど。
Amazing, right?
よね。
I smile back at Rikka, and in the moment, the desire to create a flower of my own blooms within me. A lily, of course!
私たちもユリの花を新しく作り出すことはできない
In a manner of speaking, are you asking me, what are you asking me here?
そんな
I'm expecting her to say that we couldn't possibly, but instead, having inferred my intention, she gives me the same gentle, motherly smile she did when we first met.
新しいユリを作れたら素敵ね
I feel her hand settle softly over my own and our eyes meet, exchanging a silent understanding. There, in the warm light of her eyes, is the eternity we hope for. Oh. A painting of that blissful dream we seek hangs in the room that Rikka and I share. Oh my god, dude. Me and Rikka and Mayuri, dressed in the uniform of St. Angraecum Academy, holding hands and smiling in a field of shining rapeseed. Rapeseed? Our own slice of heaven. A dream as yet unfulfilled. But I believe that if I keep on praying, if I keep on hoping, I believe that one day we will be as happy as we are in that picture. With the words carved into my back of the picture in my heart, I send a silent prayer up to God. I pray for the happiness of all those who have ever seen me as a friend. And I vow that I will always and forever love the precious Amitié, who is always by my side. Oh, okay. You had to get one last one in there, huh? Oh my god. So that's the Rikka end. I think it was sweet. I think it's weird that, you know, Mother Elder is still kind of alive, like what, 2 or 3 years later, when she literally like died when we got out to the mansion in the good ending. But I mean, well, you know, it's whatever. You know, they're just telling a story here. I don't really think I need to put that much thought into it. You know, it's a non-canon ending anyway, so you know, it's kind of whatever. Not that it was bad. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought that the extra scenes that were in this route were all pretty good. This one did not feel like it was kind of spinning its wheels with the extra scenes in the way that I think Autumn did. And that's probably just due to because we ran into fewer of them. But I think when we're doing cleanup, we may run into 1 or 2 extra. So, but we will not be doing that in this video. So, but yeah, this was a solid little ending, a solid little route. Rikka deserved it. You know, she's been a rock for so long, just kind of in the background, just always like, she kind of feels like that girl that's always been okay just having second place, and that, you know, that silent acknowledgement between both, it's like, yeah, you know, and she's always just kind of overwhelmed with joy with any kind of affection she sees from Suo. So it's nice that she kind of got her own route. And again, this is not a character that I thought that I would ever come around on after spring, but it all comes down to just understanding that, you know, teenagers are kind of crappy sometimes and do crappy things. And, you know, they just say it in this ending. It's like, look, we're kids. Like, we're not gonna have our heads on straight about this stuff, you know? So I appreciated that the game kind of threw that out there, and I think using Rikka to do that was also a very intentional choice. Just pretty good all around. So I think we probably have one more video. Well, we probably have 2 more videos after this, because I am going to do something once I finish this game off. Once I do whatever's left of this game, I'm going to do an additional video that's just kind of a talking head video of me doing a big yap about my thoughts on the series as a whole, and kind of like going over each game individually, how I felt about it as a whole and all of that. Just I feel like I've just been so involved with this series at this point that it's worth, it's worth a little bit of extra effort in the end to kind of cement all the final thoughts rather than just dropping them at the end of the last video, which I don't know why I'm saying all of this now. I should probably be doing it at the end of the next video, since that's not, so I'll probably just repeat this information at the end of the next video. Just you wait and watch. It'll happen. Yeah, I'll probably come back and just do the cleanup tomorrow. So tomorrow, or yeah, like the next video will be the end of the Flowers series.
なにゆり
Nani, Yuri?
この白い花って
I'm watching this again just because I want to get gut punched.
アングレカム。私が好きな花よ。私たちの学院と同じ名前。花言葉は？私たちアミティエを表す言葉よ。花言葉はいつまでもあなたと一緒。
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not. No, don't. No, I can't do the line again. No, I actually will cry if I read that line again. No, you don't do the prayer lines. Those are always bad for me. Those are always bad. All right, so clean up. What do we got here? So we got one more thing to hit, but I know that we also have a couple of scenes we need to run back and grab too. So that is gonna do it for now. We ended up going way longer than we usually do, but that's fine. Thank you as always for stopping by. It's always much appreciated. And I hope you have a nice rest of your whatever, wherever you are, and we will catch you right back here next time for the end of Flowers. So, bye-bye. Tell I've been reading way too long.